Hey everyone, it's Miss STEM Tutor here, where we try to get that 100. Today we're going to talk a little bit about chain rule, right? A lot of people are so confused, so let's talk about when do we use chain rule, what is chain rule, and some examples to apply chain rule. So when do we use chain rule? You use chain rule when you try to take a derivative of an equation that has a function inside of another function, right? And that might sound a little bit strange. So let's talk about exactly what it is. So here we go. What exactly is chain rule? And that's a great question, right? So if you're taking a derivative of a composite function, the chain rule applies, right? And that's when you do the derivative of the outside function, leaving the inside completely alone in its original form, multiplied by the derivative of the inside function, right? That still might sound a little bit weird or confusing, so let's go ahead and look at some examples. Take a look at our first chain rule example, where we are asked to find the derivative of square root of 4 plus 3x. So in this case, first you have to find the derivative of the outside function, which is just square root of 4 plus 3x. So that is going to be just 1/2 times, okay, wrong color. Let's change it up back to orange. So it's just going to be 1/2 times 4 plus 3x to the negative 1/2, right? But then, because there's chain rule, you have another function inside the outside function, right? So you can look at the outside function as just the square root, but then the inside function, g of x, is 4 plus 3x, right? So you got to multiply by the derivative of gx. So that's going to be just 3. So in the end, what you end up having is 3 over 2 times square root of 4 plus 3x as your dy over dx, the derivative of this function using chain rule. Let's look at another example. In this case, we have a little bit of a trick, right? So first, guys, let's identify our outside function. What is that? It's the whole sine of e of x. And what's the inside function? That is e of x, right? So first, let's take the derivative of the outside function, leaving the inside completely alone. So what's the derivative of sine? Of sine, it's going to be cosine. So cosine of e to the x, right? That's the outside function, leaving the inside completely alone. So now we have to take the derivative of e to the x. So the derivative of e to the x, as we always know, is the exact same thing. So multiply that by e to the x, right? So here we have dy over dx is just e to the x times cosine e to the x. That's our final answer. First, we take the derivative of the outside function, leaving the inside completely alone. Then we take the derivative of the inside function and multiply it on. So next, let's look at another question, right? This might look a little bit complex because of the big exponent, but I promise you it's really simple. So what's our first step is to always identify the outside function, which is 4x minus x squared to the 100th power. So basically, you're kind of looking at it as g of x to the 100, like a function to 100, right? So obviously, there's an inside function, which is g of x, right? So it's just going to be 4x minus x squared. Now we have it all identified. Let's take the derivative of the outside function. So what's that going to be? It's just move the 100 down and keep the inside original function as it is, and then subtract 1 from the power, 99. Perfect. So now let's take the derivative of the inside function, right? So let's add a parentheses. What is 4x minus x squared's derivative? That is just going to be 4 minus 2x, right? Move the 2 down, and you have this. So our and result of our derivative is going to be dy over dx equals to 4 minus 2x times, okay, maybe we should put the constant in the front, right? So to look better, it will be 100 times 4 minus 2x times 4x minus x squared to the 99th power. And here we have our derivative using chain rule. Always just identify the outside function, identify the inside function, take the derivative of the outside function without changing the inside function, and then multiply the derivative of the inside function onto it. So let's summarize this up real quick. What are the steps to follow when you're using chain rule, right? So first, identify the outside and the inside function. You want to identify both, so it makes your life so much easier. Second, you take derivative of the outside function and leave the inside function completely alone. Okay, leave that there. And then third step, you take the derivative of the inside function and multiply that onto what you have from step 2, which is just the derivative of the outside function with the inside left alone, right? So multiply those two together and you have your answer. Something really important to remember here is that chain rule always applies when you have a function inside another function. So pay attention, look at the question, identify outside and inside if there's any, and then use chain rule. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hoped you found it interesting and helpful, right? So if you did, give it a like, subscribe, and click that notification button. It's Miss STEM Tutor here. Let's get that 100 and see you guys later.